Hey guys, so I want to share a dream that I had recently about the future of the state of California and one of the reasons why I think it will be destroyed. So in this dream, the Spirit of the Lord took me to a shoreline on the Pacific coast in the state of California. I was on a beach where there were very large boulders, huge rocks, and I was standing in the midst of some of those rocks, a lot of rocks. So any of you guys that lives in California and have any idea of where this place is, I was there in the spirit. I've never been to California before in real life, but in this experience, I was literally there. So I was on this beach where there were like huge boulders on the shoreline, and I was standing on the side of what essentially was a huge cliff which led down to the shore. And they, in quotations, because I didn't see who was doing it, even though I had an awareness that it had to have been some kind of scientists or scientific community. They were tossing these hybrid human pigs off the cliff, and they were falling on these rocks and dying. So basically, they were getting rid of the ones that they didn't want. When I first saw these hybrid creatures, I was a bit alarmed because they were like nothing that I've ever seen before. I mean, they appeared very conscious. They had the eyes of human beings. They were all white, but they were pigs. But upon seeing them, you'll notice immediately that they aren't your average pigs. They're hybrids. And so, as I stood there observing one after the other being tossed down to their deaths, I started hearing them screaming out for their lives. One after the other. They were sliding off the boulders into the ocean, and I heard them screaming for murder. Literally, I heard them screaming for murder very loudly. I remember looking at their facial expressions, and I know what you're thinking that, pigs having expressions, but like I said, these weren't your average or normal pigs. They were terrified as they all looked at me in hopes that I could help them in some way. It didn't feel right. I feel really bad for them, even though this was my first encounter with these beings, these creatures, and I felt that what they were doing was just wrong. One thing is, I'll never forget their gut-wrenching screams for murder. It was ear-piercing because they were screaming for their lives. I mean, pigs speaking. And I know how this sounds for anyone who have not heard of the government or these scientists carrying out these abominable experiments, but it's my duty to inform you, to let you know that these things are occurring globally, not only in the state of California, but globally. These scientists are venturing into territories and tampering with things with which they have very little understanding. And their actions will lead to very adverse repercussions for not only themselves, but for the entire state of California. Now, after I had witnessed this mass murder, I was taken from the shoreline back onto the land of California by the Spirit of God, and I was allowed to see beneath the earth, deep beneath the earth, quite possibly where the tectonic plates are, even beneath the tectonic plates. And what I saw was lava, fast moving lava, was heading from the direction of the ocean towards the land underneath the state of California, under the tectonic plates. And this lava started filling up, it started rising very quickly, where it caused the entire plate that California was on to start floating first, and then slowly started to tip and lean over sideways like a sinking ship would. And so that's how the experience ended. The entire state of California was beginning to tip over in preparation to be completely capsized. It was getting ready to be turned upside down. And this was all as a result of fast moving lava moving beneath the earth. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I don't know how this would work scientifically, but that's what I witnessed. That's what I saw. And apparently one of the reasons why this will occur is not only because of the mass murder of the unborn that the state of California has facilitated in the past years, but also the creation and murder of these creatures that they have created out of defiance to God's law. This here is only one of the reasons why California will be destroyed. I believe that the judgment in California will happen in stages. First, the fallen ones will trigger the San Andreas fault line and set off the 9.5, which will be a massive sign, an ensign to all peoples in all nations. This earthquake will also facilitate the invasion of America as well. And at some time in the future, the entire state will capsize. It will be cast into the Pacific Ocean, as prophesied by many servants of Yah and seen in many Hollywood movies. So even Hollywood is predicting its own destruction. The Lord King bless and keep you all. That's what I wanted to share.